A national study finds student veterans benefit from the GI Bill.
Plus, baseball walks off an in-state rival in the Battle of the Bergs.
Then, are you ready, kids? Students splash into professional roles as the Forbes Center plunges into Bikini Bottom.
Live from the Allison B. Parker Studio in the School of Media Arts and Design at James Madison University, this is Breeze TV.
Welcome back to Breeze TV. I'm Maggie Rickerby.
And I'm Zoe Mowry. The Virginia Tech student who went missing 1 week ago was spotted in a Missouri restaurant Wednesday afternoon. Jonathan Roop, the 20-year-old senior business major, was meant to drive home to Abingdon, Virginia on February 16th to take an online test, but he never arrived. According to friends, family, and video surveillance, Roop's actions from that Friday are out of the ordinary. It had been 5 days since anyone had seen Roop before the spotting in Missouri. According to a press release from the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, it said, quote, "While there are many unanswered questions based on this personal sighting, we believe Mr. Roop is acting alone and traveling on his own free will." Officials have also reported there is no evidence Roop is in any immediate danger. Friends and family of Roop are worried he may be a danger to himself and want to just make sure he is okay. Roop is believed to be traveling alone in a black 2018 Toyota Camry with a Virginia license plate number TXW6643. If you have any information about the location of Roop, you can contact the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office at 540-382-4343.
The American Institutes for Research has conducted the first in-depth assessment of the post-9/11 GI Bill, or PGIB, since its creation in 2008. The bill helps many veterans pay for higher education, including JMU student Jonathan Carnell, a 5-year Army veteran, member of the JMU Valor, and Students Veterans Association.
The GI Bill gives me that flexibility, allows me to pay my bills, enjoy life, and not have to worry so much about working a 9 to 5 and doing school on top of that.
The data from this study shows veterans using the bill double the rate of completing college over financially independent students.
I think it'll really help me slingshot my family into greater wealth and a better standard of living than what I came from, which is not a whole lot. So I think that the GI Bill is a very useful tool for vets who didn't have a whole lot to begin with.
The study explained that both female and black veterans are more likely to use PGIB benefits, but earn less with the same degree. Researchers say these gaps should be studied further to ensure equal access for everyone eligible for the bill's benefits.
Have you been hitting the gym? Need a new water bottle? How about a muscle roller? Well, you're in luck because a water bottle company co-founded by JMU alum Dustin Hucks recently dropped the first ever water bottle and foam roller all in one. To get their brand into the public, Hucks wanted to collab with a college, so he thought no better than the place he knows best, JMU.
Everyone likes foam roll. Why isn't everyone foam rolling all the time? And it's okay because they don't have one on them and they don't have one when they need them, whether it be at their own gym, on the go, at work, in your apartment. So that, okay, what can we make that A, will be useful, and B, kind of people will carry around.
Pre-order sales are currently available. JMU students who sign up with their JMU email and use code JMU24 will receive a discount on their order. For those who are new to the gym scene, MIVA's website also offers tutorials on how to use the water bottle, as well as helpful tips to fit individual rolling needs.
Well, next time you come across your old high school prom dress or suit shoved in the back of your closet, did you know there's a place for it? The Cinderella Project is now accepting donations for the upcoming prom season. This nonprofit has been serving students for prom and homecoming for 20 years. They are now located at the Valley Mall in Harrisonburg. Philanthropy leader Rhonda Howdy-Shell motivates people to donate their fancy clothing items.
You get rid of some fashions that are hanging in your closet and make room for something new. You are encouraging, and by gifting your gently worn and clean item here to students who otherwise wouldn't be able to afford this fashion, so you have that good feeling.
Howdy-Shell says volunteering is, quote, the rent you pay to live on this earth. She encourages people to come and volunteer to not only make an impact on others' lives, but your own as well.
Volunteering gives you a wonderful feeling. It gives you that warm fuzzies feeling that you have. And here at Cinderella, it usually brings a lot of tears. And you realize that except for the grace of God and your help that day, that child may not have had anything appropriate to wear and not gone to their prom.
The Cinderella Project will be taking fitting appointments every Saturday from now until May. They hope to see more volunteers and donations in the weeks to come.
JMU Flea is back to kick off the year with its first market. The group moved inside the Union after 2 successful events last semester. Breeze TV's Natalia Nelson found out the importance of shopping secondhand.
From sneakers to hoodies, JMU Flea has something for everyone. These students are showing their love for the planet and for vintage fashion by selling their previously owned outfits at the first flea market of the semester.
After noticing the lack of resale markets in Harrisonburg, Anthony Cordova Ramirez and Angie Wiederock set their sights on creating a place where the JMU community could find and exchange clothes sustainably.
It hasn't been done on campus for like maybe 10 years or something. Like they don't really do this kind of event. So there was no like framework of like you should be doing this, you should do that. So we now have like an application template and like a master list of vendors. We have to submit diagrams for the room. We have to submit the vendors for approval, but now we all kind of have like a system on how to do it.
Vendor and co-event organizer Anthony Cordova Ramirez has long been passionate about vintage clothing, starting his thrifting journey by selling clothes in front of his house.
Every piece, when you buy secondhand, has its own attitude. You know, it has its own character that new clothing doesn't. So it really helps with us being more sustainable. So it's really cool that the community really loves it.
Cordova Ramirez is looking to continue the flea market, aiming to make it a monthly occurrence. He hopes to eventually pass the torch to someone else who shares similar passions, and at JMU, he'll have no trouble finding them. Many students especially enjoy the eco-friendly aspect of thrifting.
Obviously, like fast fashion is like probably a big issue, you know. So, and it's also like there's so many clothes out there that's already manufactured. So why not just like reuse? Especially if like the clothes are like unique.
With the flea market's success and engagement, JMU Flea hopes to spread the message that there will always be a place for thrifting in the friendly city. Reporting for Breeze TV, I'm Natalia Nelson.
Well, next up on the sports desk.
Lacrosse hosted former foe Towson in the first matchup since the CAA.
Then, men's club soccer is set for its in-state rival UVA from over the mountain.
Plus, swim and dive takes home the gold in the sun.
You don't want to miss what sports director Colby Reese has next.
It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99.
A deal so good it's worth repeating, but it won't last long.
So much flavor.
Eat and repeat while it lasts.
So much flavor.
It's bow time. It's bow time. Bojangles' new chicken rice bowl starts with dirty rice, topped with Cajun pintos, chicken, and cheese.
How's that chicken rice bowl?
It's bold from the bottom up.
Get a fresh, hearty chicken rice bowl for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99.
A deal so good it's worth repeating, but it won't last long.
So much flavor.
Eat and repeat while it lasts.
So much flavor.
It's bow time. It's bow time. Bojangles' new chicken rice bowl starts with dirty rice, topped with Cajun pintos, chicken, and cheese.
How's that chicken rice bowl?
It's bold from the bottom up.
Get a fresh, hearty chicken rice bowl for a limited time. It's bow time.
Welcome back to the Sports Desk, your source for all things JMU sports. I'm Colby Reese. Number 3 lacrosse took on Towson last night at Centera Park. The Dukes defeated the Tigers 20-10. Breeze TV's Andrew Perkson and Tommy Garganis recap the action.
Number 3 ranked lacrosse moved to 4-0 in the year last night with a 20-10 victory over Towson. This was the team's first match against the Tigers since moving to the American Athletic Conference. Similar to the first three matchups, the Dukes got off to a quick start with a 3-0 lead early in the first quarter. Towson stuck around, but things took a turn in the second as JMU scored 6 unanswered goals to break open the match.
We were doing a good job of competing with the goalie. You know, I think she's a really strong player. I think she showed that in the middle of the game, and we just made the shots look easy. I think as the game went on and we got a little less hard, we allowed her to make some stops.
Coming off a tight win over UConn last Saturday, the group won in double-digit fashion for a second time this season, showing their defensive prowess since playing in the Coastal Athletic Association.
As a team, we're really resilient right now, and I think there's a huge growth point between UConn and right now and to Towson. We're just so resilient. This was our national championship game basically against Towson. I think that we wanted to show that how far we've grown from the CAA and the AAC now. And I think that this game really meant a lot to us.
Isabella Peterson and Taylor Marchetti led the way for the offense, scoring 4 goals each.
We're all really close, and we all know what each other's abilities are, so we know who's the feeders, who's the dodgers, and we know what each other's likes. And I think being able to work together and play off of what we like has really helped us.
The Dukes will play on Sunday against Albany in their last home game before embarking on a 2-game road trip. The team agrees the match will be crucial for setting the tone going into their upcoming away games.
We need to lock in, ready to go, and I think just getting that last big home win before we're on a couple game away streak will be really key.
Sunday's game will take off at noon from Centero Park. Reporting from Centero Park alongside Tommy Gerganis for Breeze TV, I'm Andrew Perkson.
Breeze TV's Piper Hepler is in studio for updates in the world of baseball and softball. Piper.
Thanks, Colby. Baseball hosted in-state rival Virginia Tech Wednesday night for its first home game of the season. The Dukes treated the fans in attendance to a thriller, watching them defeat the Hokies 8-7. Eric Shellhouse and I were at Veterans Memorial Park to get in on the action.
Pitcher Donovan Burke made his first start of the season in JMU's home opener and capitalized on the opportunity. The left-hander quickly settled in after the Dukes put up 2 runs in the first, with a home run from Brendan O'Donnell and a sacrifice fly from Ryan Dooley. Picking up 7 strikeouts in 6 innings, the veteran pitcher relied on his teammates for a fast-paced outing.
The trust we have in our defense is huge. So anytime we get an early lead, you know, it's really settling because we know that we're going to go defend the ball better than most people.
The group held a 4-0 lead until the 5th inning when Tech got on the board with an RBI single from Carson DiMartini. JMU answered right away with a home run from Mike Mancini and an RBI from shortstop Cole Calabrese.
We answered immediately in the 5th, just like that. I mean, that's the type of group that's reflective of the way we work and who we say we are.
The Hokies gained momentum in the later innings with home runs and RBIs from DiMartini, Eddie Micheletti, and Garrett Michael, taking a 7-6 lead in the top of the 8th. JMU loaded the bases in the bottom of the 8th, and manager Mike Eikenberry called for a bases-loaded bunt from Wyatt Pfeiffer to push across the game-tying run.
We just kind of keep the same approach no matter what. Like, we could be down 10, up 10. Close game, like, doesn't matter. We just try to keep the same approach every inning.
Entering the bottom of the 9th with the score tied, they quickly loaded the bases again with no outs. Calabrese stepped up to the plate with the game on the line, delivering a base hit to right, giving JMU the 8-7 win over Virginia Tech. The Dukes say despite having plenty of energy from this exciting victory, they're taking it day by day.
I just want to see our guys stay within what we do well and stay in the approach and just continue with the process. You know, it's a long season, and having a win like that is huge, and our guys understand that, but we'll get back to work.
JMU will host its first home series this weekend against Fairfield. The first game is set for Friday at 3 p.m.
JMU baseball began its 3-game series with Fairfield today at 3 p.m. at Veterans Memorial Park. The Dukes currently trail 4-1 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Softball is in Columbia, South Carolina for the Gamecock Invitational. The Dukes are currently taking on Charlotte. The 49ers are currently leading 2-1 in the top of the 8th inning. Throughout the weekend, the team will face South Carolina, South Alabama, and UMass. That's all from behind the plate. Colby, back to you.
Thank you, Piper. Men's club soccer played UVA on the road February 4th. It was a close contest that ended in a 1-1 draw. The Dukes are now preparing for a rematch with the Cavaliers this weekend, looking for a win over their in-state rivals.
The program is expecting another high-intensity match with Virginia 3 weeks after drawing in Charlottesville.
Each game we play against UVA and Tech, like, they're always evenly contested. They're always a battle for us and always a pretty hard challenge for us, but every time we come out here to practice, we always prepare for the weekend and get ready to go after it for the game.
The team's schedule for the spring consists of 2 games each against 3 different teams: UVA, Virginia Tech, and Radford. Not having a wide variety of opponents on the calendar creates the chance to further grow rivalries with its fellow Commonwealth foes.
These games are always tough. They're always going to get chippy. They're always going to get tough. It's always a battle. At the end of the day, we got to keep our head composed, just take our moments.
The Dukes say another key to finishing those chances and coming out with a win starts with what they are already doing on the practice pitch.
Definitely just working here at the training ground and just working on our finishing, making sure we have all that set.
A lot will be on the line between JMU and UVA this weekend. The players hope for a good turnout from JMU Nation to help push them over the edge.
We never really expected too big of a crowd, but I mean, a big crowd's always appreciated, and we always try to get as many people out there as we can, and any people that we can get out there is just support us is always great.
The Dukes will take on the visiting Cavaliers at 2:30 p.m. this Sunday at the UREC Turf. Reporting for Breeze TV, I'm Tommy Gerganis.
Last weekend, Swim and Dive competed in the Sun Belt Conference Championship and won it all. Breeze TV's Jack Hadley spoke with team members about their big win.
Swim and Dive has once again won a conference title. During the 4-day competition, the Dukes scored 1,091 points, which is a new Sun Belt Championship record and was over 300 points higher than second-place Marshall. Notable performances came from Madison Cottrell, who was the top swimmer of the meet, and Alexa Holloway, who was the top diver of the meet.
Kind of one of those things that like you think like, oh, like that would be really cool, and then it like actually happens. You're like, wait, well, like I did that. Like that's kind of awesome. Just very validating with all the hard work and all the effort you put in.
Swimmer Grace Bowsam says the key to the team's long-term victory was its identity and atmosphere.
It's really integral to have a good team culture. You can't really be successful just as individuals. You really have to know how to come together, set that tone, set that vibe.
Almost a third of the team's roster are seniors. However, head swim and dive coach Dane Peterson says the program's 6 conference titles in the last 7 years shows promise for continued success.
Hopefully it shows consistency, and mainly just the consistency of the girls. You know, they work really hard, they set high goals, and they achieve them. Each one of those championships is unique in its own way, and you do it with a new roster every time. It's definitely a pattern that we hope to continue.
The Dukes will compete at the Eastern College Athletic Conference Championships for 3 days starting on March 1st. This is Jack Hadley for Breeze TV.
Only 3 games remain on the Sun Belt schedule for both women's and men's basketball programs. It's now time for this week's Loop Around the Sun. Starting here with the women's standings, JMU defeated Georgia Southern on the road last night to move to 11-4. They have sole possession of that 3rd place spot now. Marshall's still at the top with only that 1 loss. They're looking to clinch that top seed. And ULM and Georgia State both sit at 9-6 with the Panthers on a 2-game losing streak. Now moving over to the men's side of the court, JMU got a big win at Marshall, their 25th of the season, the most now in all-time history in the program, and they sit in sole possession of 2nd place. App State has 4 wins in a row, looking to lock up that top seed, but it may be a close battle. JMU only a game behind, and Louisiana and Arkansas State both sit at 9-6 with that 4 seed very much wanted to get that bye into the quarterfinals. That's all for this week's Loop Around the Sun. Former men's basketball coach Lefty Driesell died last Saturday at the age of 92. Driesell coached the Dukes from 1988 to 1997, accumulating 159 wins and 111 losses. Driesell also coached at Maryland, Davidson, and Georgia State. At all 4 programs, he won 100 games and is the only coach to reach that mark at 4 different schools. Players and coaches a part of the men's basketball program today feel the impact Lefty made in the Berg.
It was heartbreaking, and you know, I'm looking up stuff and thinking about him and what he did here in college basketball, and he's just a legendary coach. He's a bigger figure. When you see him walk into a room, all eyes go to him, and you know, the world's going to miss him.
On Lefty's legacy, pick up a copy of this week's Breeze.
It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99?
That's a New Year's resolution.
Probably won't last long.
Kinda like mine. Get more flavor this year with a boldly seasoned leg and thigh, choice of fixin', and a biscuit for $5.99. It's bow time. It's bow time. Bojangles' new chicken rice bowl starts with dirty rice, topped with Cajun pintos, chicken, and cheese.
How's that chicken rice bowl?
It's bold from the bottom up.
Get a fresh, hearty chicken rice bowl for a limited time. It's bow time. It's Bo time. Hurry into Bojangles for 2 scratch-made sizzling sausage biscuits for just $4. 1 bite and you'll want breakfast for dinner. Good thing we serve savory sausage biscuits all day. But this 2-for-4 deal won't last forever. It's Bo time. It's Bo time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99?
A deal so good it's worth repeating, but it won't last long.
So much flavor.
Eat and repeat while it lasts.
So much flavor.
It's Bo time.
This is Breeze TV.
SpongeBob the Musical is making a splash in the JMU Theater Department. As usual, students are front and center. They're singing catchy tunes and dancing eccentrically. Alongside Breeze TV's Madeline Gallagher, I went behind the stage to see how students are taking the reins on multiple production roles.
It's not unheard of for students to be in charge of putting on shows at the Forbes Center. The Studio Theater is a completely student-run group that allows students to make all the decisions for their productions. The autonomy of the Studio Theater is now making its way to the main stage.
Taking that learning to another level and doing it with more money, more space, more time is very important.
Working on this musical, the students involved say their leadership is something they've never seen before.
We have students who work as assistants, but we've never had like another student working in like such a major role like that, especially for like makeup and costume design.
The makeup and wig designer for the show say they feel encouraged to make mistakes inside this learning environment, mistakes that may not be allowed in the professional field.
You're allowed to mess up, you're allowed to take risks without fearing, losing your job or, not being on that production anymore.
Kim says he wants to make this show a research project, so he applied for a grant and was awarded $1,500 to do just that.
I want to see how different materials can evoke certain emotions from both the audience and acting. What would the cast members and what would the audience say when they see this material, and how will they interact with it? And so I just wanted to bring some new breath into what scenic design and what design could possibly do for this space.
Klaus says they take every opportunity they can to learn, and that is the core of what every student is doing.
Playing with design like we're playing in a sandbox as kids, and it's color and joy, and there's just so much like that I feel a lot more connected to the creativity I had in my childhood.
This is not meant to crush our souls. This is not meant to do any of that. This is meant to educate, and you are meant to learn.
These students say they're expressing their passion through makeup, costume, prop, and set design. This hands-on experience, where they can take on leadership roles, is preparing them for what they want to do in their careers. Reporting from Bikini Bottom for Breeze TV, this is Madeline Gallagher.
Are you a local music fan? Breeze TV's Jack Hadley visited this Harrisonburg bar that might just be your golden ticket to a show.
Have you ever wanted to watch a band form in real time? Well, the Golden Pony has just that. The local bar kicked off their Rock Lotto event this past Tuesday by forming completely random bands that will perform together on March 24th. 6 percussion players signed up and took turns drawing names. The musicians they drew became their new bandmates, who they have 5 weeks to practice with. Jay Zaire will be performing in Rock Lotto for the 3rd time.
It's just so exciting to be get up on the stage down here at the Golden Pony. It's a really fun night, and you learn a lot playing with people you never met before.
Those involved with Rock Lotto emphasize the importance it has for the Harrisonburg music community and the career of musicians.
I think that more places should adopt this mindset of putting together events that are just a random hodgepodge of people and making them create something together. When you're kind of forced into an uncomfortable space, or you're kind of put into a place that you wouldn't be normally and you get to create in there, that's when you see the most essence of yourself come out.
That first year that the Golden Pony started it, I came down and just put my name in the hat and didn't know what to expect, and found out it was something that, wow, this is cool. It really stroked something in my inner self and got me excited about playing music again.
The newly formed bands will perform together in the basement of the Golden Pony on March 24th at 8 p.m. Tickets will go on sale on the Golden Pony's website. This is Jack Hadley for Breeze TV.
Do you have an ex that did you wrong? Well, Cat's Cradle has an option for you. The nonprofit Cat Cafe location in downtown Harrisonburg is running a promotion where you can donate $50 to neuter a cat and name it after your ex. The promotion, running till the end of February, has contributed to an uptick in donations to the cafe, according to Cat's Cradle.
Well, as we look forward to the weekend, executive editor Michael Russo has everything you need to know about this weekend's weather. Michael?
Thanks, Maggie. Temperatures are pretty moderate right now throughout the valley, with most high temps in the upper 50s and lows in the mid 30s as the day goes on. There's also been some rain scattered throughout the region today and as we head into tomorrow. But fortunately, it doesn't look like you'll need your raincoat here in Harrisonburg if you're heading to tomorrow's baseball game at Veterans Memorial Park. If you look toward the south, we may see some showers in Stanton, Rafine, Lexington, and Craigsville on Saturday. Temperatures will also dip a fair amount into the 30s and 40s. Wintergreen even has a 46% chance of a wintry mix made possible from those low temperatures, a high of 37 and low of 17 degrees. And just when I started to think Punxsutawney Phil might have been teasing us about that early spring, temperatures will pick back up again for a sunny Sunday to wrap up our weekend. And if you're dreading the start of midterm season, never fear. On Monday, we'll start off the week with a hint of springtime temps hitting the lower to mid 60s, so you might be able to get some work done out on the quad. That's all for this weekend's weather. Back to the main desk.
Well, thank you so much, Michael. That seems like there's some interesting weather coming up. It's all over the place. Yeah. But we would love to just say thank you to the 99 donors that donated to the Breeze for Giving Day. We ended with a total of $8,275. So that's awesome. It goes towards equipment, travel, conferences, and a lot more for our student journalists here at the Breeze.
Yes, all that money is going to go to some great stuff to produce great journalism for you guys at home. Well, we'll see you guys all at the same time, same place next week.